Hi, welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to create an inner join query using the data JPA. So let's begin. So what I'll do is, before that I would like to show you the database records. So inside the database, I have created a few records. So if you go to the department, I have inserted few records. I have inserted 5 records. Similarly for the table employees, I have entered the few records. So now our idea is we need to retrieve the list of records, list of employees that belongs to the department, the IT department. So if I go to the table department, we have 2 records that belongs to the IT department, the 2 and 3. So if I go to the department ID 2 and 3, the Bhushan and Bharat. So these 2 employees belongs to the IT department and we have to retrieve these employees. So how we can do that? So there are a couple of ways to do that. I will show you all the ways. So first let's actually write the query method for this. So that query method internally converts it into a join query. The JPA will convert that into a join query and it will fetch the records for us. Let's go to the STS. Let's go to the employee repository, because we have to retrieve the records from the employee table. So we have to write a finder method inside the employee repository. So inside this we are going to write a method. This is going to return the list of employees and find by, that we know that the query method starts with find by and we need to start with department. So because we have to get the employees based on the department name, but inside the employee table we do not have a direct access to the department name. We have to access to the department reference variable. So find by department, and once we get the department object, inside the department object we do have 2 fields, the ID and the name. So we have to fetch that department name. So find by department name, and this is going to take the department name as an argument. That's it. So now let's save this. Let's go to the controller. Let's quickly create a handler method, public. This is going to return the response entity of list of employee, get employees by department, so let's add the get mapping annotation, and this will be /employees. Let me check if I can use the request param. I cannot use the request param because we already have the delete mapping, but we can use because get mapping, it is having the path variable. So let's actually use the request param at request param, and we are going to receive the department name from the query params. Alright, so what we need to do is, inside this we are going to call the repository method. So return new response entity of list of employee, we are going to call the repository method, which is erepo dot find by department name, and we are going to pass the department name, and let's pass the HTTP status to OK. So let's save this. So now let's go to the Postman. Our application is restarted. Let's go to the Postman. I will quickly create a new request, add new request, and this will be read employees by department. This will be get request. We will make use of the environment variable URL slash employees question mark name is equal to IT, and when we click on this send, we should get the 2 records, but something is wrong. We are getting some exception. Let's go to the expand this. Okay, some ambiguous mapping cannot map employee controller method. Okay, no worries. Let's actually change this to, let me change this to slash employees slash, we are going to make use of the path variable, but still the path variable is also there. What we can do is, let's use filter slash, then we will make use of the branch name or the department name. Okay, let me remove this request param. Let's use path variable. So let's save this. Let's go back to the Postman. Let me get rid of this slash filter slash IT. When I click on this send, we should get the record, but still no default constructor. Obviously this is expected. Let's go to the employee. Since we have created the parameterized constructor, we have to create the no argument constructor. Let's create the, we will make use of the Lombok, which is no args constructor. With this, let's save our changes. This time we should not run into any errors. Our application is restarted. Let's switch back to the Postman. When I click on this send, we should get the 2 records, which is Bhushan and Bharat, that are belongs to the department IT. We can try for other as well, civil, and there is only 1 record which is available, I guess. Click on this send, we should get a single record. The employee name is Shankar. Alright, this is one way we have creating the finder method. Internally the JPA will convert this into an inner join. Okay, it will add the join column and then it will fetch the records. We can prove that. Let's go back to the STS, and inside the application properties, I'm going to add one more property, which is jpa.showSQL, and I'll set this to true. This is going to execute the display the queries that it has executed inside the console. Let me go back to the Postman again. When I click on this send, if I go back to the console, you can see there is a SQL query that has been executed, and you can see the first SQL statement. It has some, okay, you can see left outer join. Okay, using the left outer join, the JPA will convert that query method into left outer join and it will fetch the records for us. Okay, so this is a one way, and there is one more way. We can use JPQL query to retrieve the records. In the next video, we're going to see that. I will see you in the next video.